All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the transfer presentation. My name is Tamika Alexander, and I'm the Director of Outreach and Transfer. And we're excited that you're going to be joining us today. And the PCC Transfer Center is where your transfer journey begins. And so we'll go ahead and go to the first slide. Okay. So I'm going to share with you just a little bit about what we're going to experience today during our time together. We're going to share with you a little bit about what the PCC Transfer Center can do for you. We're going to talk about some of our transfer services. You're going to get a chance to meet the team. And then you're going to have an opportunity to hear the nuts and bolts on the CSU, the UC, and the privates. And then we're really excited. We have two amazing social justice programs because we know that's one of the themes for this conference. You'll hear a little bit about Clothing and Transfer Bound. And then we're going to leave enough time at the end to answer any questions that you may have. All right, next slide. All right, so I want to start with a little bit of the history. Social justice career are a couple of the themes. Transfer centers historically were designed to really help underrepresented students transfer. And we are fortunate that we have a really strong transfer center. Now, can anybody in the chat, we'll see who can get the answer right. Can anybody tell us who is the #1 community college in transferring students to the Cal States and the UC? Can anybody put in the chat who is #1 in transfers to the Cal State and the UCs? All right, I see PCC, ELAC, Santa Monica. Just kidding, PCC, okay. Awesome. Well, the majority of you are correct. Pasadena City College is #1. Now, Santa Monica is #1 in transferring students to the UC. They have been #1 for years and they continue to be. But combined numbers, so out of all 116 community colleges, PCC is #1. And a lot of that is attributed to the great work of our faculty on campus, our staff, and so we're really just excited about that. Next slide. All right, so what can PCC Transfer Center do for you? Next slide. So the goal of the Transfer Center is to help you navigate. I'll just be really honest. I used to be an admissions counselor at a Cal State, and I would come to the Transfer Center and meet with PCC students, and I would say, hey, I noticed you're missing X, Y, and Z course. And I would say, is there any reason why you didn't take that? And oftentimes students would say, oh, well, my friend said, or my cousin said. And one of the things is you're really lucky because the Transfer Center is here to support you in figuring a lot of that information out. The Transfer Center will help you identify the universities, complete the application. There's some information that may not live on a website, but we've got staff who are well-versed and knowledgeable to help you every step of the way. And so that is our goal. All right, next slide. So I just want you to know that although we're in this virtual environment, the staff is available Monday through Friday. And so you'll have an opportunity to see how you can connect with us. But I'm going to go ahead and transition to our transfer counselor, Ms. Yvette Valdez, and she'll tell you about all of the great services we provide. Yvette?
Thanks, Tamika. Yeah, so as our director mentioned, despite this remote environment, the Transfer Center is still working hard to provide you with all of the services that you may need, whether it's applying or just starting from the very beginning and figuring out what the requirements are for the university that you're interested in. So on the screen, we've listed some of our most popular services, but there's more. You can see we have transfer advisement and counseling. So we have expert advisors who can really help you differentiate between universities, learn the requirements, and more. We can help you with university research if you're interested in, a certain career and you aren't sure what institution may best benefit you. We can help you with that also. We can link you with university representatives so that you can hear information about your desired university directly from that institution. And we offer an array of transfer workshops. These are Transfer 101, where you learn the nuts and bolts, or TAG, so that you can learn how to guarantee your admission to a UC. We even offer workshops, post-transfer season, helping you with the exit process, leaving PCC and starting at the university. We have personal statement guidance or personal insight question guidance and review. And essentially, we're here to support you with all of our services, which you can access through the PCC Transfer Center website. And if you have questions or whatnot, you can always email us at transfercenter@pasadena.edu. One of my colleagues will add that email to the chat so that if you have questions, you can always email us there. And we will have a Q&A at the end, just so you know, so that I see some questions are popping up in the chat. But whether it's a UC, Cal State, or private, out of state, the Transfer Center can definitely help you and is a great resource for all of our interested transfer students. We want to give a brief meet and greet of the Transfer Center team. We aren't all here right now, but just so you can start familiarizing yourself with some of the faces of our advisors, our director, our Transfer Center administration, which is our clerk, Katina, myself. All of us here are a resource. We're here to support you, and we're happy you're here, and we hope to see you virtually through our Transfer Center services. Alrighty, so our colleague from Cal Poly Pomona will be sharing information on the Cal State University system.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Promnitz, and I am an outreach counselor at Cal Poly Pomona. And I will briefly go over the general requirements that students need in order to transfer to the California State University system. So the CSU system is a collection of 23 campuses throughout the state of California. So you start with San Diego at the bottom and going all the way up to Humboldt in the very north of the state. Students can apply to any one of these 23 campuses. We do have a special program called the Associate Degree for Transfer Program, or ADT. That is something that you can look into if you're interested in transferring to the CSU system. Because we are a large system of colleges in the state with the largest population in the country, we have a lot of alumni. So we have 3.8 million CSU alumni. So you're in good company if you decide to attend a CSU campus. And we're all about career learning and hands-on learning as well. So the CSU system is a good choice if you're interested in a specific career. So we create the most teachers, for instance, in the state of California. Nursing is very popular, engineering, psychology, careers that kind of are majors that have a very definitive career as an end goal. So that's what we do best at the CSU system. We're also a very inclusive environment. So we're the most diverse system of higher education in the nation. And we really strive to provide a low cost method of getting your higher education degree for everyone. So we try to keep our doors open to as many students as possible at the lowest cost possible. So next slide, please. Oh, and I forgot to mention our deadlines. So we are open from October 1st to December 4th this year. So you want to make sure that you start looking into the CSU application now if you're interested in applying this year for next year. And you do have until December 4th of this fall in order to apply. So next slide. So these are the transfer admission requirements that you would need. So you need 60 semester units of credit of transferable coursework. 30 of your units should be in your CSU general education course requirements. If you need to know what those are, I believe it's a pink sheet at the transfer center, or you can contact your PCC transfer center. They have the breakdown of everything that would count as a GE course for the CSU system. You need at least a 2.0 GPA in all transferable coursework. So we will look at all institutions attended for your higher education to calculate your GPA. You must be in good academic standing at the last institution attended. And you will need to complete something called the Golden Four. So this is 4 critical courses that you will need to take. That's going to be English composition, critical thinking, oral communication, and a college level math class. That CSU GE sheet that's available through your transfer center will tell you the specific courses that you need to meet. So on that sheet or on that form, you will see something called A1 oral communication, A2 English composition, A3 critical thinking, and a B4 math class. Any of the courses listed in those areas would meet these Golden Four requirements at PCC. Next slide. Oh, and that's it. So the big takeaways here are you need 60 CSU transferable units, 30 units of CSU general education coursework, completion of the Golden Four, and at least a 2.0 GPA. If you're interested in an impacted major, be sure to check out your individual CSU campuses because sometimes there are supplemental courses you need to take, and sometimes certain majors have higher GPA requirements than the standard 2.0. So make sure you reach out to your CSU representative for each individual campus to see if there's any additional requirements that you need to meet.
Thank you, Sarah. Alrighty, so next we'll be having one of our amazing UC transfer advisors, Elroy Pinks, who's going to be reviewing information on the CSUs. On the UCs.
Thank you so much, Yvette. Thank you, everybody. I'll be, as Yvette mentioned, describing how the UC system is set up and how it works and how you can access the UC system. But first and foremost, I want to let each and every one of you know that the UC system is by design set up to be very accessible and preferentially accessible to Pasadena City College students or any California community college student. And a degree at the UC system is certainly obtainable by each and every one of you. So you will succeed once you get into the university as well. If you can change the slide, please. Thank you. So just to give you an overall view of the UC system, there are 9 undergraduate UC campuses and 1 graduate campus in the state of California. Out of the campuses you see here on the map, the one that is a graduate institution is UC San Francisco. So the ones you see outlined here are the ones that students coming out of PCC would apply to transfer to, from UC Davis being the northernmost campus and UC San Diego being the southernmost campus. And the 3 campuses that are closest to Pasadena City College being UC Riverside, UCLA, and UC Irvine. And all 9 campuses welcome transfer students. In fact, they are our favorite students in the UC system, as we would like to say. So we've designed systems in place to ensure that not only do you have preferential treatment, but you have programs like the transfer admission guarantee that will allow you to be guaranteed to one of the UC campuses when you're applying for the UCs. Plus the campuses that do not offer transfer admission guarantee, they also have specialized programs that you can do while at Pasadena City College to increase your chance of being admitted to those 3 campuses as well. And the 3 campuses that do not offer a transfer admission guarantee, but do offer incentive programs are UCLA, UC San Diego, and UC Berkeley. So our campuses are, as you saw on the map, strewn throughout the state. So whether you want to stay closer to home or if you want to venture out and go to a particular campus for a particular career goal, the UC system has everything that you can imagine that you would want to do. For example, the #1 school of veterinary medicine in the world is at UC Davis, which is our northernmost campus. And we have your capability to go on to any career that you like throughout the UC system. We have hundreds of majors that you can do at all of the different campuses in the UC system. So you have any choice you can imagine in the world, and there's opportunities to even design your own major at pretty much all of the campuses. So these are things that you could take advantage of and prepare for even before you transfer from Pasadena City College. So We do also offer in the UC system the largest education abroad program in the world, where there's opportunities for you to see the world and travel to over 422 different options in 44 countries. And 42% of the undergraduate students are the first in their family to earn a college degree. And what you would find when you get to the UC, many of the campuses are highlighting professors who also transferred in as well. So they're very transfer and veteran friendly campuses. So you can find a home when you look throughout the UC for you to continue your education. Now, it's also important for you to know that not only is the UC system the #1 public university system in the world, they also have incredible resources in place for you to go ahead and do what is called research, which can make you an expert in your field and set you up to not only become a leader in your career, but even start your own company. The big thing the UCs are moving towards and pushing is really helping to develop students that either can lead major companies that already exist or to develop their own companies, which over the last 35 years, the UC system has been one of the major drivers through their research and their students graduating that have helped to make California the 5th largest economy in the world, which has the top 3 companies in the world in the state of California, being Google, Apple, and the largest footprint for Amazon. So a lot of that has to do with the research and development and the students that the UC system produces. You can also get to these positions through various programs, as well as the world-class career centers and career support that exists at the UC campus. So even though the UC really helps to develop you into those high-level degrees like becoming a physician, getting your MD, or a PhD and so forth, they are also very good at helping you to not only get into the career that you want to get into, but also be a leader in that industry or even develop your own company in that industry. And the higher graduation rates are very present at the UC system because of all of these resources. There's a high level of propensity for you to graduate and get your degree if you go to the UC system. For the longest, they've been really about making sure that once you get to the campus that you will graduate, and because of the preparation that you can do at PCC, you can graduate in a very reasonable amount of time with very low debt or no debt. Next slide, please. So these are the very basic requirements for the UC system. The major difference between the CSU and the UC is the communications course is not required. You still do have to have 60 or more UC transferable semester units, which you can get done at PCC, and the minimum GPA to submit an application to the UC system is a 2.4. But we do, similar to the 4 courses for the CSU system, we have what is called our 7-course pattern, and it consists of 2 transferable English composition courses, a transferable math course, as well as 4 additional college courses chosen from the two of the following areas that you see below: arts and humanities, social and behavioral sciences, and physical and biological sciences. The reason it's set up that way is because your major will fall in one of those 3 areas if you're not doing English or math as a major. So if you focus on doing the preparation for your major, though, you can complete 3 out of the 4 remaining courses that you see at the last bullet point just by preparing for your major. And a word about IGETC, the acronym you see at the top. For our STEM students going on to the UC system, first of all, the IGETC is not required to transfer to the UC system, and it's discouraged for students in STEM majors because, again, as we have in those 4 additional courses, we do want you to prepare for your major while you're at PCC, and the STEM majors do have many more courses that you have to prepare for. So not only do you not have to do the IGETS, we would much rather you focus on getting your major preparation completed. And about the application process, the application typically opens on August 1st for fall admissions, and you can work on your application and even complete it starting in August 1st. But the month that you will submit your application is November 1st through 30th. So you have a pretty broad window of time in which to apply to the UC system each fall. And we do have off-cycle admissions as well, but it's limited to mainly 3 campuses, which is UC Merced, UC Santa Cruz, and UC Riverside. But all campuses are open for a fall admission cycle. Thank you.
Thank you, Elroy. Alrighty, now we're gonna just highlight quickly a little bit in the information regarding the private institutions. So private universities are located throughout Los Angeles, the state, and the country. PCC students commonly transfer to USC, Laverne University, Pepperdine, LMU, and many more. So for students who aren't interested in the Cal State or UC system, typically they will attend a private institution. There are many, many in the Los Angeles area. Many private schools affiliate themselves with different religions, and this sometimes may align with individual student backgrounds or values, and that's one of the reasons they choose to attend a private school. They tend to have smaller class sizes. A lot of these universities are smaller liberal arts schools that have specific concentrations, like, for example, art schools or music schools. So you'll find yourself in a setting with a smaller class size. And a lot of private institutions are big on networking and networking opportunities, which really helps with job placement, career goals, building your resume. The Cal States and the UCs, of course, also have amazing networking opportunities, but that's just one of the highlights for private institutions. And unlike the traditional UC or CSU application, the private institutions typically require a lot less units for transfer. So they rarely have that 60 unit requirement that the CSUs and the UCs require. Notice in the bottom, we included that bold red sentence. If you're interested in applying, we recommend you visit the university's website or ask the Transfer Center for guidance. Considering these schools each have their independent requirements, unique admission requirements, we want to be able to help you navigate the process of applying to a private school. Generally speaking, many of the private schools will typically screen for 30 semester units or 30 transferable units, that 2.0 GPA, and typically students will apply through the common application. Some schools will have you apply directly on their website, but many of the private schools use the common application to have students apply for admission. Regarding the 2.0 GPA, certain private schools require a higher GPA. Some of the more competitive ones, like maybe Stanford or USC, you'll notice have additional requirements and a higher GPA threshold, but the minimum GPA to apply to most private schools would be that 2.0 GPA. All right, so now we're going to dive into special transfer center programs. So outside of all of the services that we've talked about, we have special programs in the transfer center, and we'll have two of our transfer center staff members present on these.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ariana Atik, and I am a representative for CLAVE, which stands for Chicanos, Latinos Advancing in the Values of Education. So CLAVE in Spanish means password. So it focuses on providing key values and benefits of transferring, helping students transfer from community college to a four-year university. The CLAVE program is open to all students, but it is specifically geared for the successful enrollment of Chicano, Chicana, Chicanx, Latinx student population. So we hold a number of events, such as the Welcome Back Mixer, Dia de los Claveros, the Latinx graduation, in which anyone who identifies as Latinx background can participate. So as you can see, these pictures are from the graduation itself, where students that are part of this program can and are identified as Latinx can participate in, and they receive their own stoles, and it's a beautiful ceremony for your entire family. Aside from that, we also help with transfer applications. So we help with assistance with the Cal States and the UC applications. We hold workshops. We hold reviews for those students that need help with their review. So it's highly encouraged to, if you identify as a member of the Latinx community, that you join us and you benefit from all the resources that we provide on a monthly basis. Yvette, our counselor, composes a newsletter in which a lot of details that are important for your transfer process are important and are provided for you there. So again, if you're interested, please go ahead and email clave@pasadena.edu, and I will go ahead and put that in our chat.
Thank you, Ari.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ariel. I'm actually a former PCC student. I'm really excited to see all of you here. I'm going to talk about TransferBound. So what is TransferBound? TransferBound is one of the Transfer Center's special programs or transfer support programs. We focus on the values and the benefits of preparing our Black students to transfer from the community college to a four-year university, and we aim to close those achievement gaps as well. It's open to all PCC students, again, but it is specifically geared towards the successful enrollment and support of our Black African American student population. And our motto is Black transfer success that is rooted in access. We do have a few key components, and for each key component, it's to really get the students to dive in a culture of social, cultural, and academic excellence. So we have transfer advisement. Actually, one of our transfer-bound advisors, Elroy, is on this call. You already met him. But transfer advisement, students are paired with their own primary transfer advisor. We break them down into specific cohorts within our large cohort. They also get paired with a transfer counselor. So Yvette is one of our transfer counselors for TransferBound and also for Clave. We pair them with transfer alum. So luckily this year we have each of our students paired with a mentor as well, and the mentors are all community college students, former community college students, so they're alumni, and majority of them are PCC alumni. We also have partnerships and collaborations. So one of our partnerships that Tamika and Elroy work really closely with is our HBCU partnership. So we can make sure that we get students that are interested or pushed to the HBCUs. We also have our UCLA Center for Community College Partnerships. So that's another social justice program that's specifically for transfer students, and any of you on this call can join that as well. And we also make sure that students know about the CSU Associate's Degree for Transfer if they would like to go to a CSU. And I forgot to mention, for those of you who may not know, the HBCU is a historically Black college or university. We also have our signature events. This year, the events are our On the Yard / HBCU Caravan. So On the Yard is where we bring Black faculty, staff, and allies on the yard and to the students. It's basically like office hours. It'll be kind of virtual this year, a little bit different this year. HBCU Caravan is where students get to meet the different HBCUs and representatives. We also take our students on a field trip to the Black College Expo, really amazing. There's a lot of different colleges that are at Black College Expo that are representing for students to go up and talk to them at the different tables and everything. And there's different workshops related to Black transfer success, Black college success, everything like that, all that scholarship. We also have Black graduation. If you see some of the pictures on here, we have some of our Black grads. That's one of our very, very big culminating events at the very end of our one-year program. But yeah, and then we also have our cultural semester seminar / orientations. So those are where each semester we gather our students and we tell them about different things that are going on at each specific semester. So during fall, we tell them about like what's going on with transfer, and we have different workshops in that. And we also talk a lot about mental health and mental health as a Black student, and also how Black students successfully can transfer in the winter, financial aid, exploring your career options and everything like that. Like Ari said, we also, since we are the sister program to Clave and we're through the Transfer Center, we also have transfer success like workshops. So we do application workshops for UC, CSUs, HBCUs, and all of that. Yeah.
So as being a member of CLAVE and Transfer Bound, you get priority. So as soon as you identify as such, in our transfer center, we basically give you the priority to meet with a transfer counselor, with a transfer advisor, depending on your need. You also get appointments with university representatives, and you get to participate on activities and, of course, cultural events. So again, if you're interested in this, we all want to see you succeed. Email us at clave@pasadena.edu or transferbound@pasadena.edu to get more information or sign up for our program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, ladies. We want to make sure that you know how to connect with us. On the screen is the Transfer Center email. We have staff that check it daily. So if you send an email, we'll get back to you same day, next day at the latest. The telephone number, if you leave a message, then we're able to call you back. And then there's also another link to be able to connect with us. We're going to now jump into the Q&A portion, but Yvette, can you go ahead before we talk about the anonymous survey and the opportunity drawing? Based on the questions I'm seeing in the chat, I think it would be nice for us to take a look at the Transfer Center website. Folks are asking about workshops, you know, are those posted? And I think it'll also be nice to also see when the university reps are available. So if you could take us to the Transfer Center site, and then we will address the questions that are in the chat. Awesome, awesome. So although we're virtual, folks are available to connect with you. So simple search, just type in Transfer Center in the search box, and it takes you to our Transfer Center homepage. If you scroll down just a little bit, you're going to see the blue box that has a number of black boxes. So if you go ahead and hit the Meet a Transfer Advisor, Yvette, well, if you go ahead and select that box, it lets you know that there's an advisor available Monday through Thursday from 10 to 3. So if you click on that, that takes you right into a Zoom session with a transfer advisor. Although there may be a group of students, you are seen individually, one-on-one. So if you have a quick question or you're not sure about something, that's the best way to get in contact with someone immediately, okay? Monday through Thursday, 10 to 3. Then we also have the box where it says sign up for workshops. So Yvette, if you'll select the sign up for workshops, this takes you to our Calendly. So if you're trying to fill out the common application for a private school, you want to get help with the UC application, personal statement, tag. If you are applying for tag, September is the month that the tag is submitted. So attend a tag workshop. I'll tell you everything you need to know. And then there's some other basic transfer workshops there. And then Yvette, I think you can select go back to the page so they can see when the reps are on campus. So if we scroll down just a little bit, scroll down at the very bottom. Scroll down, keep going, all the way down.
I think
so you're going to see, yeah, so right now it lets you see when different events are happening, when different schools are going to be here, and that's when you can meet with folks one-on-one. So now we'll open it up for Q&A. And I will go ahead and read some of the questions that are in the chat, and then any of the panelists, whether it's Yvette, Sarah, or Elroy, you can go ahead and answer these. And it looks like a lot of them were already answered in the chat. The deadline for the CSU, Sarah, I know that there was a question. Is that specific to some CSUs, the December 4th deadline, or is that for all?
No, that's for every CSU. So every one of our 23 campuses in the system will be due on December 4th.
Okay, awesome, awesome. How can someone connect with the Transfer Center? We showed you the website. Let's see what else. Does the October 1st, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, there's a question that also says, what is TAG?
I'll be happy to answer that, Yvette. As I mentioned during my presentation, TAG stands for the Transfer Admission Guarantee. And it's a program that allows you to guarantee your admissions to one UC campus. And the way it works is that we have 9 total campuses, remember? Out of those 9 campuses, 6 of them offer some type of TAG program. So the 3 that do not offer a TAG are UCLA, UC San Diego, and UC Berkeley. So all the other 6 campuses offer some type of TAG. And you can do a simple search on Google for UC TAG, or even on the Pasadena website for UC TAG. And we also have a page that gives you a link out to all 6 of those campuses, where you can learn the details about how TAG works overall, as well as how it works for each of those 6 campuses that offer a transfer admission guarantee. And as we mentioned, if you're applying for a fall term, like for instance, if you're applying this fall to enter next fall at the UC system, you would be submitting your TAG application this September. And it's always due for a fall term, September 1st through 30th. So you only do that application when you're getting ready to apply right after you've submitted your TAG application in September. You would be submitting your UC application November 1st through 30th.
Thank you. And yeah, as Elroy mentioned, TAG is a UC program. It doesn't apply to the CSUs. Thanks, Sarah. I'm gonna also right now at this moment add in the link, Tamika, for the opportunity drawing / survey.
Perfect.
So we've added a, oh.
I have a question.
We're sorry, Hayam.
I have a question.
Okay, we can hear you.
So I have questions. I want to be in USCLA and I want to study family doctor, like medical. And I don't know. I started this summer, and do I apply next year or for the university or what?
Hayam, if you set up a meeting with one of the advisors, as the calendar show, we have drop-in appointments from Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you come on with any of the transfer advisors, we can go over the whole process. Plus, we have the workshops to kind of show you how to apply to the UC system. But for any body who wants to become a physician, you have all of the core requirements already at Pasadena City College. So it's not so much when you started, it's when you've taken enough of those preparation courses to successfully transfer to a place like UCLA. So I'd be happy to meet with you or any of our transfer advisors to go over those core curriculum courses that you should take at PCC to be well prepared to move on to some place like USC. And a word about preparing to become a physician or a dentist or anything like that. There are core requirements that are very similar for all of those allied health pathways, and all the courses are available at Pasadena City College, but you do not necessarily have to be a biology-based major in order to become a physician, a dentist, a physician's assistant, a veterinarian, or any of those things. They're just specific courses you need to take at a minimum, regardless of what your major will be.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yvette, there was one question, like what's the difference between a counselor and a transfer advisor?
Okay, yeah, so I would say the biggest difference is that the academic counselor can help you couple your transfer journey with your associate degree if you choose to get one. So academic counselors are not very knowledgeable on the PCC degrees that we offer, PCC programs, and then together we can work on an educational plan that's gonna create sort of like a map of all of the classes that you're gonna need in order to complete your educational goal at PCC, whether that be an associate degree or transfer. And then our advisors are very specific with transfer. So they'll go over university requirements with you, tag requirements. They know a lot of the smaller details that I may forget or I may miss, you know. So I highly encourage you to visit a counselor to create your ed plan, and then visit an advisor so that you can work together to review your ed plan, make sure everything is good for transfer. And then you have the best of both worlds. You know, you get the advisement that's specific to transfer, and then you get the counseling that also couples your PCC degrees.
If I could, I would just like to thank you for this information. It kind of guides us a lot. And I mean, I didn't know I wanted to transfer before, and I was kind of scared. So I spoke to a counselor, and then I saw this because my professor recommended it, and I think it's very useful and helpful. And I thank you for offering the services. I will definitely be stalking you guys down. So thank you so much for offering this, this workshop.
Thank you for attending, Ruth.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Any other questions?
I saw a student asked a question about she'll be finishing in winter of 2022, and I think the question was answered. But typically, most students who are looking to transfer on to the CSU, UC, or a private, as Yvette mentioned earlier, the privates allow you to transfer with less units, but some also need 60 units. And I would encourage students, if they're willing to stay longer at PCC cost-wise and mentorship and taking your time at PCC, you still can transfer to the privates at the junior level or 60 or more transferable unit level. And then take 2 years once you get to the private school, the UC or the CSU. So if you're on a 2-year pathway, typically if you're thinking about 60 or more units, you would want to say in your first year, aim to have 30 or more units, and then be applying in your fall of your second year and projecting and enrolled in your second 30 or more units to have them completed by the end of that spring term after you submit your application. So that gives you sort of a guideline, but you can take longer at PCC beyond 2 years if that's what your plan is as well. The universities don't so much care about how long it takes you. They're more focused on how well you do when you are taking courses at PCC. So everyone's journey is a little different, and we're here to support you no matter what your journey is.
Yvette, there's a question. Is there a unit requirement for TAG? I know that you need at least 30 units to submit the TAG application this September, and the remaining units, which would take you up to 60, can be done during fall, winter, and spring. So if you want to check to see if you're on track for TAG, attending one of the TAG workshops would be really good, or meeting with one of the TAG transfer advisors would be helpful as well.
Absolutely.
I believe that concludes our session. We want to be on time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please know we are here virtually for you, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 3. The staff are monitoring the Transfer Center email, so please reach out to us. We want to help you on your transfer journey, and we hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Have a great day.